Good morning, students. This is Vivian Raju presenting the today's lesson. In the previous class, we discussed the Bohr's atomic model. Based on his atomic model, Niels Bohr calculated the radius of orbit, energy of electron in the orbit, and velocity of electron in the orbit. He also calculated the energies of various energy levels in hydrogen atom and hydrogen-like species. Let us discuss these concepts one after the other. The first one is the determination of a radius of Bohr's orbit. For calculating the radius of orbit, he derived an equation. Let us go to the derivation of that equation. Let us consider an electron of mass m and charge E revolving around the nucleus of charge Ze. Ze, where Z is the number of protons and E is the charge of one electron. Z is the number of protons, that is Z is atomic number, and E is the charge of proton. So what would be the charge of nucleus? Z into E is the charge of nucleus. Ze is the charge of nucleus. The electron with the charge E is revolving around the nucleus of charge Ze, where Z is the atomic number and E is the charge of proton, with a tangential velocity v, with a velocity v. Tangential velocity is the linear velocity, and r is the radius of the orbit in which electron is revolving. What is r? The radius of the orbit in which electron is revolving. From the Coulomb's law of electrostatic force, you know that the force of attraction between two charges is directly proportional to the quantities of charges q1 into q2 and inversely proportional to the distance between the square of the distance between them. Inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. F is proportional to q1 q2 by r square, or F is equal to k into q1 q2 by r square, some constant into q1 q2 by r square. Here q1 is Z into E, one charge is Z into E and another charge is E. So here force is proportional to Z into E by r square, or force is equal to some constant k into Z into E square by r square. K into Z into E square by r square, where k is the proportionality constant. It depends upon the units used. In SI, the k value is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, where epsilon 0 is the permittivity of the free space, and in SI system its value is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. The value of K is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square in SI system. Whereas in CGS system, the value of K is equal to 1 dyne per centimeter square. The centrifugal force acting on the electron is mv square by r. The electrostatic force of attraction is k into Ze square by r square, and centrifugal force acting on electron is mv square by r, where m is the mass of electron, v is the tangential velocity, r is the radius of the circular path. And we know that the centrifugal force counterbalances the electrostatic force of attraction, that is, the magnitude of centrifugal force is same as the magnitude of electrostatic force of attraction. Since electrostatic force of attraction balances the centrifugal force, for the stability of electron in the orbit, mv square by r should be equal to k into Ze square by r square. That is, the centrifugal force should be equal to electrostatic force of attraction. Or if r and 1 r will be cancelled, here r and 1 r will be cancelled. If you cancel r and 1 r, and if you bring this m to right side, we can get v square is equal to k into Ze square by mr. V square is equal to K into ZE square by MR. Let MV square by R is equal to ZE square by R square is the first equation, or V square is equal to K into ZE square by MR. We got a relation for V square. ZE is K into ZE square by MR. What is the value of K? The value of K is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square in SI system, and its value is 1 in the CGS system. If the values are expressed in CGS system, the K can be considered as 1 centimeter square per USU square. Instead of Coulomb square, we get electrostatic unit square. According to Bohr's postulate of angular momentum quantization, we know that mvr is equal to n into h by 2 pi, that is integral multiple of h by 2 pi. If this equation is written by making v as the subject, we can write it as v is equal to nh by 2 pi mr, or v square is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m square r square. By squaring on both sides, we get n square h square by 4 pi square m square r square. V is equal to nh by 2 pi mr. So on squaring on both sides, we get v square is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m square r square. But we already calculated the value of v in the second equation. According to second equation, we know that v square is equal to kz into e square by mr. Kz e square by mr. But here the same v square is calculated in another way, that is from Niels Bohr's, one of the postulates of Niels Bohr's atomic model, that is v square is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m square r square. So both the values are equal. That is, k on equating 2 and 3, that is the values of v square, we get ze square by mr is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m square r square. The right hand side of the third equation and the right hand side of the second equation are same. So k into ze square by mr is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square mr square. So on solving, we get r is equal to, that means if we write this equation by taking r as the subject, r is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m k z e square. Here r and in mr, this r and one of the r's will be calculated. If r is brought to the left hand side and all the other values are brought to the right hand side, we get r is equal to n square into h square by n square into h square by k z e square, k z e square into 4 pi square, and among m square, in m square and m also will be cancelled, so 4 pi square m. So this can be written as n square h square by 4 pi square m k z e square, n square h square by 4 pi square m k z e square. After cancelling the mr on both sides, we get r is equal to n square h square by k z e square into 4 pi square m, or that is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m z e square, m z e square. So this is the equation for the value of r, that is a radius, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. If n is equal to 1, we get the radius of first orbit. If we substitute n is equal to 2, we get the radius of second orbit, and if we substitute n is equal to 3, we get the radius of the third orbit, and so on. Okay, what is Z? Z is the atomic number. For hydrogen atom, this equation can be applied to all the single electron species like hydrogen atom or He plus ion or Li2 plus ion. where the value of Z changes. For hydrogen atom, Z is equal to 1. For helium atom, helium ion, Z is equal to 2. For lithium 2 plus ion, Z is equal to 3. That is the atomic number. Here, the radius of the smaller orbit, that is first orbit, n is equal to 1 for hydrogen atom. For hydrogen atom, Z is equal to 1 is R0. So, it is taken as R0. So, R0 is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m e square into k. So, for hydrogen atom, Z is equal to 1. We can remove n also for the first orbit as n square is equal to 1. If these values are substituted in this, the values of H, M, E are constant for all the atoms. The values of H, M and E. H is the Planck's constant. It is constant for any species. M is the mass of electron and E is the charge of electron or charge of proton, and K is also constant. If these values are substituted, we get 5.23 into 10 to the power of minus 11 meters or 0.529 angstrom units. Here, what is the relation between angstrom unit and meters? 1 angstrom unit is equal to 1 angstrom unit is equal to 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. 1 angstrom unit is equal to 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. So, if it is converted into angstrom units, it will be 0.529 angstrom units or approximately 0.53 angstrom units. We can write this approximately as 0.53 angstrom units. This is the radius of Bohr's first orbit. 0.53 angstrom units is the radius of Bohr's first orbit, that is R0. For the other orbits, for nth orbit, that is Rn, nth orbit, the radius can be calculated by using the relation R0 into n square by Z. Here, n value is taken as 1 for first orbit and Z value is taken for hydrogen in the in this equation. Z value is taken 1 for hydrogen in this equation. If those values are taken are considered for various orbits, for various species containing the single electron, we can generalize this as Rn is equal to R0 into n square by Z. How? Why? In this, we considered n is equal to 1 and we considered Z is also, here Z is not written for hydrogen atom, Z is equal to 1, and if Z is equal to 1 and n is equal to 1, if Z value and n value are generalized, we substituted only h square by 4 pi square m e to the power of 4 into Z. This value is 0.53 angstrom units. What is this 0.53? The simplified value of h square by 4 pi square m e square into Z, all are constants, is 0.53. Here we considered Z is equal to 1 and n is equal to 1. For the other species and for other orbits, n is not equal to 1 and Z is not equal to 1 for other species. So if we consider them, Rn in general, Rn is equal to R0 into n square by Z, where R0 is equal to 0.529 n square by Z. If you want the radius of the second orbit for hydrogen atom, we need to take n is equal to 2 in this equation and Z is equal to 1 for hydrogen atom. Then we get the radius of which one? The second orbit. N square is equal to 4, Z is equal to 1. So radius of second orbit will be 0.529 into 4 angstrom units. 0.529 into 4 angstrom units. For the third orbit of hydrogen, it will be 0.529 into 9 angstrom units, 3 square. Z is equal to, n is equal to 3 for third orbit. For n is equal to 4, that is for fourth orbit, the value will be 0.529 into 16. So second orbit is 4 times to the first orbit, third orbit is 9 times to the first orbit, and fourth orbit is 16 times to the first orbit in the case of any atom, any species containing single electron like hydrogen, He plus ion or Li2 plus ion. Next, Bohr calculated the energy of the electron in the orbit or energy of the orbit. Suppose T is the total energy of electron. We know that the total energy of electron is equal to sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. Kinetic energy of electron is equal to half mv square, where m is the mass of the electron and v is the velocity of electron. Potential energy is equal to minus kz e square by r. How is the potential energy equal to minus kz e square by r? Potential energy is directly proportional to the product of the charges, that is Ze into minus E, and inversely proportional to the radius, that is it is equal to some constant k into Ze into minus E by r, that is equal to minus kz e square, kz e square by r, minus kz e square by r. Total energy is equal to sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. From the equation 1, we know that mv square by r is equal to kz e square by r square. How do you get this one? The centrifugal force mv square by r is counterbalanced by the electrostatic force of attraction kz e square by r square. Their magnitudes are equal, so mv square by r is equal to kz e square by r square. If r and one of the r's are cancelled here, we get mv square is equal to kz e square by r, or half mv square is equal to kz e square by 2r. This is that equation. Half mv square is equal to kz e square by 2r. Okay. Substituting this value in the equation of total energy instead of half mv square, what is to be substituted? Kz e square by 2r is to be substituted instead of half mv square. That is, this is half mv square minus this is potential energy. So the result is minus of kz e square by 2 square. So what is the potential energy? Kz e square by r. Kinetic energy is kz e square by 2r, and the total energy is kz e square by minus kz e square by 2r. Let us compare these values. Here potential energy is equal to minus kz e square by r minus kz e square by r. Total energy is equal to kz e square by 2r minus kz e square by 2r. That is, potential energy is double to that of total energy. So we can write potential energy is equal to 2 into total energy, or total energy is equal to half of potential energy. Total energy is equal to half of potential energy. This one. This is not kinetic energy, total energy. Total energy is equal to half of potential energy. Now let us compare the kinetic energy and total energy. The kinetic energy is kz e square by 2r and total energy is minus kz e square by 2r. Total energy is minus kz by e square 2r and kinetic energy is kz e square by 2r. The magnitudes are same. So from this we can write kinetic energy is minus of total energy and total energy is half of potential energy. Now what is the total energy here? Minus kz e square by r square. Let us substitute the value of r in this equation. We already know that the value of r. R is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m e square z into k. If that value for r is substituted, what is r? We already calculated the value of r. R is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m k z into e square. If this value is substituted instead of r in this equation, that is which equation? Total energy is equal to minus kz e square by 2r. Minus kz e square by 2r. Total energy is minus kz e square by 2r. In this, if the value of r is substituted, we get total energy is equal to minus kz e square by 2 into n square h square, and this 4 pi square mkz e square goes to denominator. 4 pi square mkz e square. Here the 2 divides this 4 by 2 times. So we can write this as minus 2 pi square m minus 2 pi square m k into k m k square into e to the power of 4 e square into e square e to the power of 4 by n square h square minus 2 pi square m k square into e to the power of 4 by n square h square. That is, we get this relation. Total energy is equal to this relation, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. In this equation, all the values except n and z are constants. Except n and z are constants, all the values except n and z are constants in this equation. All the values except n and z are constants in this equation. So we can write this as 2 pi square m e to the power of 4 into k square by h square, n square h square into z square, or 2 pi square m e to the power of 4 k square by h square into z square by n square. Except these, all the other values are constants. If the values of these constants are substituted, we get E is equal to minus 21.8 into 10 to the power of minus 12 into z square by r square. Here, what are the values? What are the values of this? M is equal to mass of electron, that is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kilograms. E is the charge of electron, that is 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. The value of K is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. H is the Planck's constant. In SI system, its value is 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joules second. If these values are substituted and simplified, we get minus 21.8 into 10 to the power of minus 12 erg per atom, or 10 to the power of minus 19 joules per atom. If these values are substituted in the MK system, we get 10 to the power of minus 19 joules per atom. If the values of CGS system are substituted, we get minus 21.8 into 10 to the power of minus 12 ergs per atom. So minus 21.8 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules per atom, or minus 21.8 into 10 to the power of minus 12 into Z square by N square ergs per atom. If these joules are converted into electron volts, we get minus 13.6 into Z square by N square electron volts, where 1 electron volt is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. 1 electron volt is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. If this value is converted into electron volts, we get its value will be minus 13.6 into Z square by N square electron volts. This value can be converted into kilocalories per mole. This is the electron volts per atom per mole. If you want to get the energy per mole, you need to multiply with Avogadro's number. And in order to convert these electron volts, we have to multiply with 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. If they are divided by 1000, we get in kilocalories. The joules can be converted into kilocalories. 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joules. This is the general equation for the energy of an electron in nth orbit for a single electron species. In the case of hydrogen, the value of Z is 1, and in the case of first orbit, the value of N is 1. If Z is equal to 1 and N is equal to 1, the energy of electron in the Bohr's first orbit is 21.8 into 10 to the power of minus 12 ergs, or minus 21.8 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules per atom, or minus 13.6 electron volts per atom, or minus 313.6 kilocalories per mole. That is the energy of any of the orbits in a single electron species. Energy of any of the orbits in single electron species. What are the single electron species? Hydrogen, or He plus, or Li2 plus, or beryllium 3 plus. These are all single electron species. This formula or rule to find out the energy of electron in the orbit can be used for any single electron species. What is that formula? E is equal to minus 21.8 into 10 to the power of minus 12 into Z square by N square ergs per atom, or minus 21.8 into 10 to the power of minus 19 Z square by N square joules per atom. This value is called Rydberg. This value is called 1 Rydberg, or this value is called 1 Rydberg. Okay, or this value in kilocalories, this minus 313.6 is called 1 Rydberg. Rydberg. Okay. In order to get the energy of second orbit, we need to take N is equal to 2 in this equation. Suppose energy of first orbit in the hydrogen atom is, suppose energy of first orbit in the hydrogen atom is minus 13.6 electron volts. What would be the energy of second orbit in the hydrogen atom? That is energy of electron in the second orbit in hydrogen atom. The E2 value is energy of electron in the second orbit is equal to E1 or E0 into Z square by E0 into Z square by N square. For the hydrogen atom, E0 is minus 13.6 into, for hydrogen atom, Z is equal to 1 and for second electron n is equal to 2, n square is equal to 4, that is minus 13.6 by 4, that is equal to minus of 3.4 electron volts, minus 3.4 electron volts. That is, which one is bigger among these? Minus 13.6 into minus 3.4. Minus 3.4 is greater than minus 13.6. That is, the energy of second orbit is more than the energy of first orbit. That is, the energy of electron in the second orbit is more than the energy of electron in the first orbit. In the same way, by substituting different values for Z, we can calculate the energies of electrons in various orbits in hydrogen-like atoms, that is helium He plus ion or Li2 plus ion. Okay. Now let us go to another concept, that is velocity of electron in an atom. Velocity of electron in an atom. We know that angular momentum mvr is equal to n into h by 2 pi. Angular momentum mvr is equal to n into h by 2 pi. Angular momentum is integral multiple of h by 2 pi according to one of the postulates of Niels Bohr. If v is written as the subject here, the value of v will be n into h by 2 pi mr. This equation is changed into this type. V is equal to nh by 2 pi mr. By substituting the value of r, we get, what is the value of r? We know that r is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square mz e square into k. N square h square by 4 pi square mz e square into k. We already derived this equation, which was derived by Niels Bohr. If the value of r, this value of r is substituted in the above equation, that is in this equation, if value of this value of r is substituted in this equation, we get v is equal to, what will be the value of v? V is equal to nh by n, this is n, nh by 2 pi m into r. What is r? R is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square mkz e square. This goes to numerator. 4 pi square mkz e square goes to the numerator. If this is simplified, we get this 2 divides this 4 by 2 times, and nh and one of the n and h will be cancelled, and what are remained in the numerator? 2 and pi also. 1 pi and 1 pi will be cancelled. So what do we get? 2 pi k z e square by, what are remained in the denominator? N into h. This m and m also will be cancelled. So we get 2 kz e square, 2 pi kz e square by nh. That is this one. V is equal to 2 pi kz e square by nh. This can be written as, in this also, all the values are constants except z and e. What are the values constant except z and e? All these values, that is pi value is constant, k value is constant, e value is constant, and h value is also constant. We can write this as v is equal to, that is velocity is equal to 2 pi k e square, all the constants are separated, by h into z by n, into z by n. So if the values of these constants are substituted, we get 2.18 into 10 to the power of 8. If these values are substituted, we get v is equal to 2.18 into z by n. So we get this in centimeters per second. velocity will be obtained in centimeters per second if these values are substituted in the CGS system. In the CGS system, the value of K is equal to 1, and in the CGS system, the value of E is equal to 4.8 into 10 to the power of minus 10 electrostatic units, and H is equal to 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 27 ergs. If those values are substituted, V will be 2.18 into Z by N. If Z is equal to 1 and N is equal to 1, the velocity of electron in the first orbit of hydrogen will be 2.18 centimeters per second. 2.18 into 10 to the power of 8 centimeters per second. 2.18 into 10 to the power of 8 will be obtained. So we get 2.18 into 10 to the power of 8 centimeters per second velocity in the first orbit of hydrogen atom. What would be the velocity of electron in the second orbit of hydrogen atom? In the second orbit, N value will be 2 and Z is same. So if N is equal to 2 is substituted here, V will be velocity of electron in the first orbit V0 by 2. That is, velocity of electron in the second orbit is equal to half of the velocity of electron in the first orbit. The velocity of electron in the third orbit is 1/3 of the velocity of electron in the first orbit. In that way, we can find the velocities of electrons in various orbits of hydrogen atom, not only in hydrogen atom, but also in other hydrogen-like species like He plus and Li2 plus by substituting Z is equal to 2 and Z is equal to 3 in this equation. Okay. So this equation can be extended to find the velocities of the electrons in various orbits in the species, hydrogen-like species like He plus and Li2 plus also. The next concept is energy levels in hydrogen atom. We know that there are different energy levels. Though there is one electron in hydrogen atom, there are more than one energy level available. But all the energy levels are not existed when the electron is in the first orbit. The orbits are existed, but the existence of orbit is possible only when the electron enters in that orbit. So they are the imaginary paths, imaginary circular paths around the nucleus which are existed when electron is present in that path only. And they are said to be the energy levels. Though hydrogen atom has a single electron, it has more than one energy level. The first energy level, second energy level, third energy level, and so on. But in the most stable state of hydrogen atom, the electron lies in the first energy level only. If that electron gains a quantum of energy equal to the difference between the energies of the first energy level and second energy level, then electron gets excited to the second energy level. That state is said to be the excited state. There will be several excited states in an atom. The least energetic state is the ground state, and all the other states are said to be the excited states. For example, in hydrogen atom, if electron lies in the first orbit, that state is said to be the ground state. That is the most stable state. If the electron in the hydrogen atom jumps to second energy level, that is said to be the first excited state. If electron in hydrogen atom jumps to third energy level, it is said to be the second excited state. Fourth energy level is said to be the third excited state, and so on. There are several excited states, but there is only one ground state, that is the least energetic state, that is for hydrogen atom, in which electron lies in the first energetic state, first energy level. Okay. we know that we already derived the equation for the energy of electron. En is equal to minus 2 pi square. En means energy of electron in the nth orbit. Minus 2 pi square m e to the power of 4 into k square by h square into z square by n square. In CGS system, we can eliminate this k as the value of k is equal to 1. If the values are expressed in CGS system, we can simply write this as 2 pi square m e to the power of 4 by h square into z square by n square, where n is the quantum number, that is the number of orbit, and z is the atomic number for various energy levels. If z and z is taken as 1 and n values are substituted for hydrogen atom, that is for n is equal to 3, for n is equal to 1, the energy is equal to minus 13.6 electron volts or minus 1312 kilojoules per mole. How many electron volts is equal to, we already discussed the relation between electron volt and kilojoule. Minus 13.6 electron volts is equal to minus 1312 kilojoules. The reason is 1 electron volt is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. If electron volts are multiplied by 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules and divided by 1000, we get the value in kilojoules. Its value will be minus 1312 kilojoules per mole. This is for atom, for single atom. This is for 1 mole atom, that is for Avogadro's number of atoms. These are the values of energies of various energy levels in electron volts. These are the values in kilojoules. The energy of electron in the first orbit is minus 13.6 electron volts, and the energy of electron in the second orbit is minus 3.4 electron volts. We already discussed. The energy of electron in the second orbit is 1/4 of the energy of electron in the first orbit with a negative sign. And in the third orbit, 1/9 of the energy of electron in the first orbit with a negative sign. All these values are negative values. The energies of electron in all the energy levels are negatives only. For n is equal to 1, in electron volts, its value is minus 13.6. For n is equal to 2, minus 3 electron volts. For n is equal to 3, minus 1.51 electron volts, that is minus 13.6 by 9. And for n is equal to 4, it will be minus 13.6 by 16, that is 0.85 electron volts, and minus 0.544 electron volts. In kilojoules per mole, these are the values. From this figure, you can observe that the difference between E2 and E1 is very high. The difference between E2 and E1 is very high, and the difference between E3 and E2 is less, and the difference between the energies values E4 and E3 is still less, and the energy difference between E5 and E4 will be still less. That is, energy difference goes on decreasing as we move from first orbit to the nth orbit. When we move from first orbit to the nth orbit, the energy difference between the energy levels goes on decreasing. There is a high difference between 1 and 2, and small difference between 2 and 3, and still smaller difference between 3 and 4, and still smaller difference between 4 and 5. Okay. We observed that all these energy values are negative values. Why these energy values are negative values? As the electron is under the influence of the nucleus. If electron is out of the influence of the nucleus, its energy will be 0. When electron is just knocked out from the atom, that is completely came out under the influence of the nucleus, then its energy will be 0. The 0 value is higher than the energy possessed by the electron in the orbit. 0 value is higher than the amount of energy possessed by the electron in the orbit. That means the energies of electron in all the orbits are less than 0. So the values of energies in the electron are having a negative values. That is given here. The energies are negative since the energy of electron in the atom is less than the energy of free electron. Free electron is electron at the infinite distance from the nucleus. Infinite distance doesn't mean some kilometers. It is the distance where there is no influence, the minimum distance where there is no influence of nucleus on the electron is said to be the infinite distance. The lowest energy level of the atom corresponds to n is equal to 1, and the quantum number increases, E becomes less negative. Less negative means the value will be increased. You know that -1 is more than -2. -1 is more than -2. -2 is more than -3. Less negative means the value goes on increasing and finally becomes 0 when it is out of the influence of the nucleus. When n is equal to infinity, infinity doesn't mean some millions. After 4th orbit or 5th orbit or 6th orbit, depending on the atom, the energy will be negative. That means the electron will not be under the influence of the nucleus. So that value is said to be the infinite value here. E is equal to 0, energy of electron is equal to 0. That is the energy level of infinity, that is some 8th orbit or 9th orbit, depending on the nature. The value of E is equal to 0, which corresponds to an ionized atom. That means electron is knocked out from the atom, electron leaves the atom, and the atom becomes ionized atom. So if energy of electron is 0 means electron came out from the influence of the nucleus. That means atom gets 1 unit of positive charge. That is, ionized atom will be formed like this. H on losing an electron gets ionized. Okay. When electron gets ionized, just gets ionized, its energy will be 0. Its energy will be 0. Suppose the threshold value of energy is available to the electron revolving in the atom. Threshold value we already discussed, the photoelectric effect. The threshold energy is the minimum amount of energy required to knock out the electron from the atom. If the energy just enough to knock out the electron from the atom is available, the energy of ejected electron will be 0. Okay, if energy more than the threshold energy, a quantum possessing the energy more than the threshold energy value is supplied to the atom, the electron will be knocked out by utilizing some of the energy, and the rest of the energy of the photon will be converted into kinetic energy of the photoelectron. Okay, as when electron is just knocked out, that is, just came out from the influence of the nucleus, its value is 0. So all the values of energies of electron in all the orbits or all the energy levels will be negative.